my mother was pregnant with me, she asked my paternal grandmother to walk her to the bus station. She got to the station, but the challenge was the bus was nowhere near. I am Nomcebo Ngwamba. I am based in South Africa. I work for SAN Technologies as a product engineering lead for the healthcare domain. She didn't have access to a lot of resources. As she waited, she realized that I was coming, and it was probably going to come sooner than expected. So she brought my grandmother to walk back to the house. When they got there, she had already progressed and was about to give birth. At the time, she had to respond, right? Why? Because the healthcare system was not available to support us when the help was needed. We didn't have transport to take us to the nearest facility. We didn't have emergency response to call so we could get the support we needed. My mother had medical aid, but the nearest private facility was about 100 kilometers away. So in a situation where you've got the resources you need for improved care, but you don't really have access to those resources, what you have, what you pay for, doesn't really matter, right? So what connects me to SAN is that we now are living in an era where there's like multitudes of information, data, systems connected, and all of that help us inform or help us define what the level of help is required at any given point. So what really excites me about the opportunity I got at SAN is the ability to solve some of these systematic problems. We now have access to unprecedented amounts of data, computing power, and intelligence to help us solve some of the greatest challenges across the globe. The challenge is no longer the lack of information. We've got a myriad of systems that have been implemented across multiple ministries, and that's part of the digital strategy that the global community has sort of been spearheading. The problem we have now is with all this information, how do we collect or just merge them to bring out some of the greatest insights that will help us solve these challenges we face? The goal remains, right? Whether you're in utilities and healthcare, across the education sector, the idea is to work on operational systems. So we all optimizing for building intelligent systems that help decision makers make data-informed decisions before failure is okay. We started off in Rwanda, but when we built the first model, we made the assumption that traveling from one place to another is just a straight, you take left and an end. But then we made a visit to Rwanda, and we learned that Rwanda is the land of 1,000 hills. What that means is that what would usually take 5 minutes would take someone maybe 20 minutes because of the topology and the elevation. So it's been interesting to see that the knowledge about an environment informs how you build solutions, and that has been my biggest drive. Understand the area first before you get into the solution space. And even if you've got a solution, always refine it to match what the reality is. That's the whole model, right? Looking at the data, understanding the world around us. The goal is responsible autonomy, helping organizations make better decisions by combining human expertise and machine intelligence. Whether you're working in healthcare, telco, utilities, or government, the principle remains the same. Observe the world around you. That's the concept of world models. Understanding through data and modeling to understand the different patterns and relationships that emerge, then make intelligent decisions based on your understanding and also the integration of all the different sources that help with decision making.